Hey everybody, happy holidays and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do something really fun. I've been experimenting with adding lights to some of my boxed figures. And here's a great example of this big Super 7 G.I. Joe Cobra Bat Trooper. And I added lights to it. These strands of LEDs are very cheap over at the dollar store. They're $3 and they even come with a remote. So you can program the lights and have them do all different things. And I'll show you how to do that. So today I figured why not start with a really festive figure in its own right. I think today we're going to put some lighting in this Stormtrooper. Now this Stormtrooper is really cool. He was on sale. I got him for like 17 bucks. And he comes with two porgs. One of them is this cool translucent blue. Then he comes with Christmas porg, and he even comes with this awesome Nerf blaster. And I thought this was really cool. And I thought maybe why not add Christmas lights to the Christmas figure or the holiday figure and see what we come up with. Let's take a look. Okay, so here we have our Stormtrooper holiday Christmas figure, and we're going to add these lights to it. Now, I'm going to move this out of the way for a second. I'm going to show you this. These are LED lights that come with a remote, and they were USB standard plug-in. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and you can actually cut them to the appropriate size. So for this project, you're going to need one of these cheap LEDs, Dollar Tree, Dollar Store, probably any sort of discount store. They sell these and they're really great. $3 a piece at my Dollar Tree. You're gonna need a pair of scissors. Just you're gonna just take the tray of this figure and we're gonna make a little slit in the interior tray. Okay, and that's pretty much all you're gonna need. Now these lights are adhesive, so you're gonna see how we do all that. So hopefully it's a very simple project. You can probably do it, and by the time you get all the things you need, probably do it in about 5 minutes. Okay, so first things first, it's always a great idea to check and make sure, because these are so cheap. I bought a few extra sets, but it's always a great idea to make sure that your stuff actually works, because it wouldn't be the first time that the Dollar Tree left me hanging with some crappy thing that didn't actually work. So here's what you're gonna get when you open up the package. You get this foil thing, and there's a couple of components inside. So you get the reel of lights with a standard USB, and you get the remote. And so what we're gonna do is, I just happen to have this right here, and we're gonna plug it in. We're gonna make sure that it's working before we go to all this effort. Wait a minute, let's see. Let's go, come on. Get in there. And there you go, you can see that it's working. There's all the lights, and they go through sort of like a test phase to see what you get. So we know that this is a good strand. Okay, on to the next step. Now, it's this phase of the game where we're going to carefully open up the box, and I'm going to go from the bottom. That just works very well. We're going to take the time to sort of open it up carefully. And you know how to open up a box carefully. So you just, kind of do it that way, and that way you've got a fully intact box. My goal is to be a box collector, and so even though I'm slightly modifying this, it's not really permanent damage in any way. So you've always got that little piece of paper. We don't need that. And we're going to remove this from the tray or from the box, and now we have the figure in the tray. So my intention is to have it look just like this. We're going to add the lights. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take those lights and we're going to put it on the inside of the tray. All right, and with the adhesive, it should stick no problem. So let's get ready for that. All right, now for the next step, this is a real easy step. I like to have the tail USB end of the light sticking out of the box to the right. It just seems to work better. So what I'm gonna do is, on this interior tray, I'm gonna make like a little slit right there in the corner, just like that. 2 of them, and that way it gives us a little bit of room to finagle everything. Okay, so you're just making a little slit there, just like that. You can see what I did. And that's gonna provide enough room for that USB head to kind of stick through and the cable to have it be nice and clean. So in this case, you can leave that little tab sticking out. You can cut it off if you want. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave mine. It's really not gonna do any difference. So, all right, now what we're gonna do is, here's our USB lighting, and it just comes in this wheel. And unravel the whole thing, okay? You're going to notice that there's paper on both sides. That's to protect both the adhesive and the LED lighting. So We're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to take that off, and then it just comes off like that. Stay tuned for the next part. So the next most critical part is you're gonna notice that there's this paper protective cover on both sides. And because it's super cheaply made, you have to take your time and be very careful. So very carefully pull off the adhesive on both sides. Now this is the non-adhesive side, and this exposes the LED lights, okay? And we're actually gonna cut this, so we don't need this entire, 3-foot section or so. We're only gonna need maybe about, 16 to 18 inches of it or something like that. But you still have to do the whole thing, okay? You're gonna do that. All right, and there's the adhesive off of that side. Now we're gonna peel the adhesive off of this side, and I'll meet you in a second. Okay, awesome. Now we have all that annoying paper off both sides. And so now it's just as simple as you think it might be. We're gonna take this, and we're gonna make sure that we have our tail, our LED USB tail sticking out, right? And I'm actually gonna make that cut a little bit longer. I want it to go all the way to the front corner there. Well, actually, no, it doesn't have to. We're just gonna do this. We're gonna do it this way, all right? So we're gonna take the LED tail. This time we're gonna have the lighting. We wanna make sure that the lighting is gonna face on the inside of the plastic inner sleeve. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put the lights, adhere the lights all the way around to the edge like that. We're just gonna follow, we're gonna go around the corner like that. Just make sure that it's sticking pretty well. And it's kind of a light tack on this, so, it's not gonna damage any of the plastic. If you're an inbox collector, it's really not gonna do any such thing. It's gonna just be a very easy fix. And what we're gonna do is when we get to the bottom of it, we're just kind of going all the way around the perimeter. Like that. All right. Stuff just sticks, but you get the idea. All right, we're gonna go around like that. And then what we're gonna do is you get to cut it where these little copper connectors are. So if you cut it right there, that is going to be, so allow you to not sever the connection. So we're gonna cut it right there on that. So on this side, you can still see there's 3 of those copper connection points, those contacts. And then the other 3 are still right there. So I'm just gonna take my time and do this. And now you can see, kind of know where I'm going with this now. Now you've got the whole interior of the liner done. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna hook it up to the USB and make sure that it works. And then you'll see how it all comes together. And there you can see very quickly, you can see where this is kind of coming together here. Now you've got Christmas lights on the inside, and that's going to do some really interesting things once we box it back up together. So join me for the last part where we box it and then we test it out with the remote and see what we can do. Okay, so now it's time to put everything back in this box, which is still very, very good shape. Now, it's not mint in the box anymore, but it's a very good opened box. Very, very, very slight modification, only with one little slit there and there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it all back together and see what we got. And that little slit is gonna allow you to then run it through these folds on the bottom of the box again. So we're gonna do that. Now when you do it, you wanna make sure that, that's why you put that little slit in there. It's gonna go right in that corner. And we're gonna fold this part down. We're gonna fold this part down. And then what you get is that. There's no modification to the box, and now you have this little tail sticking out. So let's see what happens. Ready? Here we go. Moment of truth. We're gonna bring our AC power source back over. And we're gonna plug it back in. And bam, look at that. Oh, that's pretty awesome, the flashing lights. That looks pretty awesome. But now comes the fun part. So this thing comes with a remote for $3. You can't beat it. And just like with all the other LED type of things, you just gotta pull that little thing out. And now you've got a functioning remote. Now here's an on, off, there's a timer, there's all kinds of things. So let's just go through some of the motions. There's off, turns it off beautifully, turns it on. Now, there's all different kinds of functions and modes and things. So there's also like brightness. You can dim it if you want, just by pressing that dimmer button, and that will dim the lights down a little bit. But who wants that, right? I'm always going to go with the super bright ones. You can see it going through. And then, like, for instance, if you press number 8, it's a static multicolored light. If you press it again, it goes to all red. If you press it again, all green. There's all different functions in this. So I think for my personal shelves, it's fun. You can do all different kinds of things. There's different speeds. You can go increase speed, like go really crazy. You can slow it down. Whatever you want to do, man. They can do it. So I kind of like. I don't know. I like it all. Mess around with it, see what you can do. But let's put it next to a couple of others and see what we've got. Okay? And here they are. Here's a few of them. I thought it might be fun to take a look at them underneath the Christmas tree. So we'll change up that one. Pretty cool. I don't know. Maybe you'll like to do this with your own collection. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, everybody. And as Clark Griswold famously said, I hope this adds to your enjoyment of the holidays. Take care.